Cat Noir presents A Horse Called Man by Matt Sanders and Kevin Chilvers.
Matt, I'm back from the shops. Oh, for crying out loud, there's a massive horse in my front room. Look at the sides of it. How did it even get through the door? Matt, do you know anything about this massive horse? Matt, where are you?
I'm nearby.
How near?
Well, you might want to put that huge glass jar of marbles you just got from the shop down before I tell you.
All right. There, I'll put them safely on the coffee table. Now, where are you?
I think you should brace yourself, Kev.
And how would I do that?
From what I understand, you just grit your teeth, tense up a bit and sort of go, "Hoo!"
Very well.
Now look at the horse.
Okay. And I'm looking at the horse.
Hey, Kev.
Ah!
It's me, your friend and comedy partner, Matt.
Ah!
I've turned into a horse.
Of course. Of course. And how did this happen? I've only been gone 15 minutes.
It was the weirdest thing. I was halfway through reading an email warning me about some sleeping tablets I bought on the internet. Then, all of a sudden, I got this huge craving to eat an entire sack of apples.
Uh-huh.
Only, I realised I couldn't pick anything up anymore because my hands and fingers had shrunk down into what I can only call hooves.
Right.
Then, I felt my head stretch forward, at which point I had the urge to stand up and sort of tip over onto all fours, because I just feel better balanced this way.
I see.
And before I knew it, I had a tail, a mane, and I'm far hairier than when I woke up this morning.
So let me get this straight. I went to the shops to buy some marbles so I could teach you how to play marbles this evening.
Yep.
And while I was gone, you experienced something that sounds very much like the scene from American Werewolf in London, only less wolf, more horse.
That's about the size of it, Kev.
Well, even for Cat Noir, this is a bit weird.
You're telling me. 1 minute I quite fancied a pizza, and the next, all I wanted to do was run headlong at a tree and suddenly change direction at the last minute.
Strange. Does it hurt?
No, but I can't breathe through my nose anymore.
Interesting. I didn't know that about horses. Give you your dues, though. You've got a lovely shiny coat.
Ah, thanks, Kev. And look, I can lift my tail up and down. Watch.
And now I'm staring at your buttocks.
My horse buttocks with flapping tail.
Would you kindly stop doing that?
Certainly.
Can you do any other tricks?
Yeah, for some reason, I can now do a fantastic impression of an elephant.
Okay, go on then. Let's hear it. Not bad.
What do you mean, not bad? I thought it was pretty good.
Well, I'm struggling to work out if it should be considered a horse doing an impression of an elephant, which would be pretty neat, I grant you, or if it's technically just Matt as a horse doing an impression of an elephant, which, given you can talk anyway, even in horse form, somehow seems slightly less impressive.
I see what you mean.
No, you don't.
Have you got any straw? I could really do with a sit down.
Nope, there'll be no loose straw in this house. It's difficult enough already that you've got 4 great hooves clomping on my shiny new hardwood floor. Oh, which reminds me, no pooping.
Ah.
I mean it. I will not be clearing up horse poop off my brand new floor. Understood?
Okay.
I've already had to see your buttocks tonight due to whatever weird phenomenon we're up against this week. I will not be cleaning up horse poop as well. Have you got it?
Fair enough, Kev. Would you like to sit on my back?
Pardon?
You know, take a ride up the old dusty trail to those lush, fertile pastures in the north.
Do you mean ride you up the hallway to the kitchen?
Yeah, just keep your head ducked down to mind the lights.
Even then, I'm not sure you're really going to fit in the hallway. Besides, I'd rather not.
Why?
Well, what about if you suddenly change back into human form? It would just be me sitting on your shoulders. This evening's gotten strange enough already, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's not do that then.
Can you do any other tricks?
I have been working on a new impression of Danny Peaks.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hello, it's me, your old pal Daniel Peaks, gore-blimey governor, up the apples and pears, what, tumble down the sink, my old china, to be sure, to be fair, at the end of the day, strike a light, be lucky, mind how you go, son, do me a favour.
Was that your impression then?
Yeah, why? Wasn't it very good?
I wouldn't do it again, Matt. In fact, if Danny Peaks heard you, I'm sure he'd be quite offended.
Whoa! Right, stop doing impressions of me, the pair of you, or I'll cut ya.
Sorry, Danny.
Honestly, people and their ruddy horses. I don't know what the world's coming
See,
to. I really
told you
don't.
I'd be impressed.
Point taken, Kev. And sorry your window's damaged again.
It's all right. I filled up my loyalty card now, so this repair should be free.
Well, that's a bonus. But just to be safe, I won't do any more impressions.
Good. What I actually meant was, can he do any other sort of horse-related tricks?
I think I finally know the difference between a canter and a gallop now, only there isn't much space in your front room to find out for sure. Can we go outside?
I really don't think that's a good idea, Matt. You're only going to get kidnapped and sold to a circus, and I'm not bailing you out of that experience a second time.
Fair enough. If I'm honest, once the rush of having 4 legs wore off, I kind of wish I hadn't turned into a horse.
Yeah, why is that?
Because a donkey would have been much cooler.
A donkey?
Yep.
Matt, does this have anything to do with the movie franchise Shrek?
It has everything to do with Shrek, Kev. Shrek made donkeys cool, whilst everyone knows horses are famous for having massive bodies and massive upper legs, all balanced on tiny, spindly lower legs that seem to defy science. And if that's not tricky enough, then there's show jumping.
Horses do have remarkably thin ankles.
We're just not as cool as donkeys, Kev, no matter how hard we try.
I reckon we need to turn you back into humour form before this episode gets too silly.
I'd like that. I'm fed up thinking about carrots and whether or not I should consider a new career in racing or ploughing.
Don't fancy being a military horse then?
Too much shouting, Kev. But I could be a boat horse, like the one that spent long sunny ocean voyages eating lots of cookies.
That's not what Seabiscuit did, Matt.
Oh. What are we going to do then?
Maybe we should reach out into the Cat Noir universe and make some phone calls. There's bound to be somebody who's had this or something equally as stupid happen to them before. Perhaps we could get some advice.
Brilliant idea, Kev.
Thank you. Only I'm not really sure who we should call.
What about that nurse friend of yours, Elkie Salzer?
No good. I'm afraid she's just a pun.
Oh.
Hang on though, who is that famous TV vet, pet doctor you watch on daytime TV?
You mean Pat Tufnell, the UK's leading vet pet animal specialist?
I mean the guy you once pulled me away from an important meeting to watch simply because he managed to get a dog to stop hiccuping after 6 years.
That's him, Pat Tufnell. He's marvellous, Kev. Once he helped a rabbit find laughter again.
Is that so?
Yeah, and he supported 2 goldfish through a difficult breakup where they had to share the same tank for a few years after they split.
Good. He sounds like the ideal person to call. I'll dial the number and I'll hold the phone to your head so you can do the talking.
Ah, why have I got to speak to him? It's difficult enough being a horse. I miss picking my nose.
Yeah, but I'm playing Pat Tufnell, aren't I? So it'll just sound better if you speak to him.
All right then, can do.
Hello, I'm Pat Tufnell, that's the Pat Tufnell. As an UK's leading vet pet animal specialist, you'll probably see me on the TV and yes, it really is me. Now then, who the hell are you? What do you want?
Oh, hi, I'm Matt. I wonder if you could help me with a small problem.
What? Sorry about that, I do tend to slightly overreact when I'm shocked.
I quite understand. I've had a tough evening too.
It's just whenever anyone asks for help with a small problem, it's usually because their budgie has stopped yawning or their cat has started mooing. No one ever wants to talk to me about anything other than blasted animals.
Well, I mean, in fairness, you are the UK's leading TV doctor pet vet specialist.
What? I mean, of course I am. Quite right. Don't forget it. What's your problem?
It's just that I've somehow turned into a horse.
I see. Are your bowels all right?
Yeah, my bowels are fine. I have got a tail now, though, but I can lift it up and down. Listen.
Interesting. Have you considered finding work in the adult entertainment industry?
Doing what?
Never mind. How long have you been identifying as a horse?
What? No, I'm not identifying as a horse. I've turned into one. You know, 4 legs, hooves, big tail, and a mane.
I see. But your bowels are all right.
Yep, my bowels are all fine. But my ears are on the top of my head now, and I can't pick my nose anymore.
Quite. And can you do anything as a horse?
Well, I can do a believable impression of an elephant now. Listen. See?
What? Look, to be honest, I'm struggling to work out if it should be considered a horse doing an impression of an elephant, which we probably need, I grant you, if it's technically just you as a horse doing an impression of an elephant, which, given you can talk anyway, even in horse form, seems slightly less impressive.
That's exactly what Kev said.
Then it's probably worth bearing in mind.
Okay. But what am I going to do about being a horse? I've got a dentist appointment in the morning, and I won't be able to fit in my car.
I imagine the bill will be a darn sight more expensive too.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought of that.
What?
I said I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, yeah. I see. Look, to be perfectly honest with you, I can only help with the animal side of things. You see, humans are not really my speciality whatsoever. Far too noisy and opinionated. That's why I got into animals. Only it's hard to know if whatever I recommend would work on the human side of you as well as the animal side.
What do you mean?
Well, as an example, I wouldn't really encourage the use of an enormous rectal thermometer to check your temperature until you're very certain you're going to remain in equine status for some time to come.
Fair enough. That's a good point. What else?
Well, for tonight, I'd probably just kick back with a bucket of carrots and curl up on a nice bed of straw to sleep the whole thing off and see if you feel any different in the morning.
Uh-huh. And if I don't?
Then give me another call and I'll send a team of reporters and a full camera crew hurrying over to poke and prod you and get your face on every damn news feed in the country. Maybe even globally.
Great. Can I do my elephant impression?
I wouldn't have thought there'd be time.
Oh.
Look, I've got to go. Give me a call in the morning if you're still horse-hoofed. Otherwise, don't phone me again. Goodbye for now, and don't forget to tell your friends all about me. Bye.
He's gone, Kev.
And what did he say?
Basically just to sleep the whole thing off and see what tomorrow brings.
Fat lot of help that was. Damn these TV personalities and their bite-sized quack advice. It never properly stands up in the real world.
What, you mean like that time the TV ghost hunter blessed your downstairs toilet?
Don't remind me. It's still very haunted in there. I've had to seal the whole room off.
Hey, what time is it?
It's 7:15.
Then you might want to stand back.
Yeah, why?
Told you.
What was that?
That, Kev, was the 1709 from London King's Cross to Cambridge.
So why did it suddenly pass through my lounge bizarrely, but thankfully not doing any damage whatsoever?
Well, I was on that very train quite recently, and it was such a pleasant journey that I promised to give it a shout out on the show.
I see. And the way you thought to go about that was to have a train come charging through my front room during an episode that's confusing enough already because you've somehow turned into a horse.
Not just any train, Kev. The 1709 from London King's Cross to Cambridge.
Right, well now you've done your shout out. Could we carry on with the episode? We're trying to get you changed back from a horse to a human.
Of course, I'll make no more mention of the 1709 from London King's Cross to Cambridge.
Good. Hang on. The 1709 arriving at 7:15? It's a bit late, isn't it?
Yeah, but technically there isn't a stop here. Usually I'd change at Cambridge. We're pretty lucky it came so far out of its way.
Fair enough then. Any train prepared to stray this far from its route in order to get a shout out on a comedy podcast is okay in my book.
That's the 1709 from London King's Cross to Cambridge for you.
I'm just glad it didn't break anything. To be honest, I thought that by now you'd have already destroyed the huge glass jar of marbles during some shenanigan or other.
Well, I suppose if I got scared, I might suddenly buck my legs back out with no control over them. And, given my position in your front room, the coffee table is within close proximity, but... well, it's just that nothing scary's really happened.
You're not scared that you've turned into a horse?
Not really. Value your fingers and thumbs though, Kev. You never know when your hands are going to suddenly turn into hooves.
Hang on. Did you say this all started when you were reading an email warning you about some sleeping tablets you brought on the internet?
Yep, on your computer over there.
I've never seen a horse point before.
I'm not surprised. It makes my shoulders ache. That's if I've still got shoulders. Have horses got shoulders, Kev?
I think so. Though I think you've also got something called a wither now.
This is getting far too confusing.
Why don't you read me the email you're talking about? If it's a warning about medication side effects, we could see if equine activity is listed.
No can do. I lost the ability to read when I turned into a horse. Everything on the screen is just squiggly to me now.
Never occurred to me that horses can't read, but I suppose it makes sense.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, everywhere we go, we'd be keeping a cautious eye out for the words glue and factory.
Can I read it then?
Help yourself. It hasn't even gone onto screensaver yet.
Right. Let's have a look. How far did you get?
To be honest, I was still on the blurb thanking me for buying such a wonderful product and assuring me I've made a bold and foolproof investment into a future of better sleep hygiene.
So just the first 16 paragraphs then?
Why? What's it say after that?
Let's see. Oh dear.
Ah.
This is shocking and dreadful.
Uh-oh.
I'm afraid this Really isn't good news at all.
But is it bad news though, Kev?
Well, to be fair, it's not terrifying, earth-shattering, mind-bending, nightmare, fuel-ridden end of the world apocalypse, doom, gloom, that's all game over, everything kind of news.
Well, that's something.
But no, it's not good news either.
I see. How bad is it?
You might want to brace yourself.
Can do.
Oh, so that's how you do it.
No, Kev, that's how a horse does it.
Oh, yeah.
What's the news?
Well, essentially, they're saying that throughout their award-winning long 5-week history of being a successfully established pharmaceutical business, they've never had any problems with unusual or unwanted side effects before.
Well, that's a relief.
But apparently, with this latest batch of sleeping tablets, there have been 1 or 2 peculiar responses reported, hence them putting out this warning email today.
Oh, yeah? What kind of peculiar responses?
Well, according to this, everyone who's taken 1 tablet dose has been completely fine with no unexpected animal activity reported.
That is good news.
Similarly, all those who have dosed with 2 tablets for sleep have equally experienced a good night's rest and have gone on to live rich, fulfilling lives with prestigious careers and healthy, rewarding relationships.
Still happy days.
But
Uh-oh.
it says here a small percentage of people who have dosed with 1.5 tablets have experienced the slightly unlikely side effect of what they're calling additional bovine or equine attributes.
I see. Does it say anything about horses?
Yes, Matt, that's what equine means.
Oh! And bovine?
Cows.
Right.
How many tablets did you take?
1.5.
Then I think we've found the source of the problem.
So what are we going to do? I'd plan to watch a western later, but as a horse, I've got no idea who to root for.
Leave it to me, Matt. I'll call the customer services and make a complaint. They can't expect to get away with this. At the very least, I'm going to make sure you get a refund.
Ah, thanks for looking out for me, Kev.
Don't worry, Matt. I've got you with her.
I'm still not sure where that is.
Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Hello? Hello? Your medication's turned my friend and comedy partner into a horse. I want to know what you're going to do about it. Hello? Hello? Oh, for crying out loud.
What happened?
Sounds like customer services have turned into cows. So I've hung up.
Must be using their own medication.
Why on earth would you buy sleeping tablets from the internet anyway?
Because all those sheep have moved from that field outside my bedroom window. I've got nothing to count anymore.
Yes, but look what's happened. Maybe next time just stick with some valerian tea from the health food shop.
Fair enough, Kev. Lesson learned.
Good.
Does it say in the email how long all this will last? I'm bored of having 4 legs.
Thankfully, it says these side effects are short-lived and that anyone who's experienced them has turned back into human form quite quickly, which I suppose means Pat Tufnell was right after all when he said not to worry about it.
Yeah, but I am worried about it. Supposing I never change back and I'm stuck in horse form forever. And when patches of grey hair come through, people will just think I'm some sort of weird zebra.
Are you alright?
No, Kev, I'm not. It's all just a bit too strange. In fact, I'm starting to feel a bit scared.
Really?
I'm sorry, Kev. In hindsight, I should have moved away from the coffee table earlier.
Maybe just try and stand still for now. I don't want you slipping on a marble and putting a massive hole in my wall.
Okay, will do. Ooh, hey, ooh, something's happening.
I said stand still.
I'm trying, but something's going on with the bottom of my legs. Ooh. Oh, Kev, look at this. Hey, I've got my hands back.
Oh yeah, human hands on horses' legs. You look a bit like a Bosch painting.
Hi, fingers and thumbs. Oh, I've missed you. Ooh, hey, Kev, more stuff is happening. Look, I think I'm changing back into human.
I'm not quite sure how to describe what I'm seeing. This episode's been strange enough. I think I'm just going to go straight to the credits. You've been listening to A Horse Called Man. Written, produced, recorded and edited by Matt Sanders and Kevin Chilvers. Promotional material by Laurie Stone.
Hey, I've got arms again. Ooh.
If you enjoyed this episode, give us a like, follow and subscribe wherever you heard us.
Hey, look, I can see my belly button. Woohoo!
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Cat Noir Podcast.
Ta-da! Kev, look, I'm all human again.
That's great. Would you mind going and putting some clothes on?
Oh yeah, of course.
Mind the marbles!
Whoa. Sorry, Kev.
Join us again soon for a brand new story. And if you're thinking of buying some random medication off the internet, maybe just don't.